Good evening. I'm Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. Tomorrow, the country honors all the men and women who served our nation in the military. And in College Park this morning, the county said thanks by helping those in need of housing. Byron Scott has more.
It was called Meet and Lease. Dozens of military veterans, many of whom were homeless, gathered at the hotel at UMD this morning for an event sponsored by the Prince George's County Housing Authority.
To link vets and other participants in our various programs to housing opportunities with our landlords. So many individuals who are here are landlords who are ready to lease their houses and their apartments.
And I was staying in a shelter.
Army veteran Ron Jackson, who's been involved in the program for years, received a housing voucher just in time.
It saved my life because I was out on the streets with nowhere to go. And it was winter and it was cold. And basically, I just gave up on life by that time. And they got me back into the swing.
In addition to housing, some vets received a haircut. For others, it was a manicure. They were also given a bite to eat. Other services that were provided today included help finding work.
Basically, a lot of them are looking for the training, additional training to make themselves more marketable, certifications, and just to see what type of job opportunities we have available.
Back in 2019.
For landlord Mary Braxton, who today provided a housing voucher to a homeless veteran, being here today was personal. Her dad was a homeless veteran.
A lot of the vets, they need these resources and they don't know how to get the connection. So once I got him connected with those resources, he was able to get a housing choice voucher and he gained stability with housing. So he no longer has housing insecurity.
Our veterans have, put blood, sweat, tears on the line for this country, and I think the least that we can do is really make sure that, one, we recognize them today, tomorrow, and every day, frankly, and we link them to housing opportunities that are safe, decent, and affordable.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
According to the Office of Veterans Affairs, there are an estimated 60,000 military veterans in Prince George's County. That's the highest number of veterans in any jurisdiction in Maryland. Of that number, 10,000 are women. Dr. James Dula, who heads the county's Office of Veterans Affairs, says they all deserve to be honored because of their service and community work.
And we want to recognize that. Recently, we went through a very serious pandemic. Veterans were serving on the front lines as healthcare providers and other volunteers in the community to make a difference. So we recognize our veterans for their military service as well as for their community service. And that's why it's so important to me, because I see them every day from the Office of Veteran Affairs. And it's my pleasure to thank our veterans each day for what they're contributing to our communities and to our country.
Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11th, 1919, which marked the one-year anniversary of the end of World War I. Meantime, police arrest a man for allegedly shooting a Riverdale Park police officer. This is the suspect Josue Albaran Dominguez. On Monday, officers tried to stop a suspect vehicle in Riverdale, but the car fled the scene. Later, two people got out of the vehicle and exchanged gunfire with police. The Riverdale Park police officer suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Hours after the shooting, officials say Dominguez was arrested by Bladensburg police. The second suspect remains at large. The race to replace Monique Anderson Walker on the county council is already heating up. Prince George's School Board member Edward Burrows has been knocking on doors for the District 8 council seat. And former council member and state delegate Tony Knott says he also plans to run in the special election. Anderson Walker resigned from the council to campaign full-time as lieutenant governor alongside gubernatorial candidate Peter Franchot. The special election to replace her has not been scheduled yet. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. 15 people have died of the virus in the last 24 hours. 529 people remain hospitalized, a slight drop from yesterday. Prince George's has also reached a sad milestone. It now has more than 100,000 cases of the coronavirus, the highest jurisdiction in the state. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in just a moment.
Farewell scenes are familiar to the 4th Division, but this time their destination is the other side of the Atlantic.
For some, serving means deploying overseas to make the world a safer place. But for many men and women in the National Guard and Reserve, serving happens closer to home.
The vast majority of New Orleans, Louisiana is underwater. Major eruption occurring at 8:32 approximately this morning on Mount St. Helens.
My soldiers, they have been working nonstop, around the clock.
We're starting to get some reports of fire in Paradise.
No matter if you've deployed overseas or responded to crisis here at home, you've earned the right to mental health support. Whether it's care at the VA or finding a provider in your community, if you need help, VA will be there. Go to BeThereForVeterans.com to learn how VA supports members of the National Guard and Reserve.
Dear parents, can we take a time out from our crazy lives for a second and think about how awesome play is? This thing we love to do just because it's fun is actually helping us grow in all kinds of ways. And the only trick is to mix up the ways we play, because different kinds of play gives us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, time in.
Welcome back. A grand jury indicts an Upper Marlboro man for allegedly killing his fiancée. 38-year-old Deontay Sims faces multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder and first- and second-degree assault. He's accused of shooting 39-year-old Dina Taylor in the 1900 block of Robert Bowie Drive in Upper Marlboro in September. The victim was found unresponsive in the roadway and later pronounced dead. Regional officials are briefed this afternoon on 2020 census data. And as expected, the D.C. area is rapidly growing and changing. The Council of Governments says the region grew by 660,000 people, a 13% increase since 2010. More than half of area residents now identify as a minority or of more than one race. Only 42% identify as white. That's a 10% drop over the last decade.
Our transportation world, for example, we have a very focused spatial lens called equity emphasis areas, and they're neighborhoods with very large concentrations of minority or low-income households. And so we have been using that as a lens to focus future transportation investments to make sure those communities are afforded all the opportunities that are needed for them. Our health officials are keenly aware of the challenges that COVID has inflicted upon different communities around the region. And again, on a jurisdiction by jurisdiction basis, they've been working to reach out and support the residents.
The board was also briefed on regional efforts to address mental health and the expansion of electric vehicle use. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks will host a school system task force meeting tonight. She's asking the panel to study the structure of the county school system, including the school board. During the course of 2 months, the group will make recommendations on how to move the school district forward. A final report is due to the executive by January 14th. The meeting tonight will be held virtually at 6:30 p.m. To watch the work group online, visit Prince George's County Government YouTube page. The Montgomery County Teachers Union says the district could soon face resignations from educators. That's if vacancies aren't filled. MCPS has more than 300 full-time teacher openings. Union President Jennifer Martin says requests for substitutes aren't being answered. Full-time teachers are then forced to skip their lunch breaks or planning periods to cover classes. The union is also asking for pay hikes for teachers forced to cover classes. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Innovation transforms the world, moving us forward not just in steps, but in leaps and bounds. Innovation created a healthcare system so extraordinary, it not only improves the lives of veterans, it transforms the lives of healthcare professionals, collaborating through integrated care teams, accessing the latest technology, working with the most advanced medical science, and even creating it. Like discovering new ways to integrate technology with the human body. It's a unique culture of transformation that leads to solutions that best serve our veterans. The Department of Veterans Affairs, where innovation ensures those who served our nation are served by the very best. See how a career at VA can transform your future.
It's time for my monthly book club. It's an opportunity for us girls to connect and remind each other who's on mute. And this is how we have to meet. Because when we spend time indoors with people, we can still spread COVID faster than Nancy's gossip. That's why I'm still masking wherever I go, because until I'm vaccinated, a mask helps slow the spread. Which means the sooner I can get back to a friend's house to judge their interior design. We can't hear you, Dolores.
Thank you for staying with us. If you plan to watch the 55th annual CMA Awards tonight, you might see a familiar face from the county school district. Music teacher Thomas Pierre will be honored as one of the CMA Foundation's Music Teachers of Excellence National Award recipients. Pierre was nominated by his principal at Thomas Pullen Performing Arts Academy in Landover. He says he was shocked and thrilled to learn that his work inside the classroom was being recognized.
Music can help students connect to what they're learning in their class and their everyday lives. And they can connect what they're learning in class to what they're learning in other classes. You know, as daunting as this pandemic is and virtual learning has been, it helped me to find ways that music can connect with students, you know, in different ways, and how I can use music other than the same way in the classroom.
Pierre is also a National Board Certified Music Teacher. The CMA Awards will air tonight at 8 p.m. Do you need something fun for your child to do after school or during their free time? Sign them up for STEAM activities with the County Parks and Recreation. The agency is hosting numerous events this month, from learning about robots to how to make ice cream. There's something for everyone. Nearly 60 programs and activities are available for children.
The new world is really full of science and technology, engineering, arts, and math. And so at the Recreation Department, we feel like we can really bring these topics to life in a very fun and enthusiastic way.
The programs are also in person and virtual. To learn more, visit the website on your screen. If you're looking for a new furry best friend to play with or add to your family, you're in luck. The county's animal management agency says it has a slew of wonderful pets. Of course, there are cats and dogs. However, Megan Staub says there are also other critters, including rabbits.
We have guinea pigs both in pairs and singles available, and rabbits we can also do in pairs if anybody wants. And we got turtles. We have 3 red-eared sliders if anybody's interested.
To adopt any of these pets, call 301-780-7200. Let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 40. Veterans Day, partly sunny with a high near 66. Showers are likely later in the evening. Friday, cloudy with rain in the morning, highs near 64. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 56. And now for the community calendar. All Prince George's government offices, with the exception of public safety agencies, will be closed tomorrow, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day. Trash and recycling and 311 services will not be available. The bus public transit service will operate on existing COVID-operated routes. For more information, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov/calendar. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again on Friday at 4:30. Have a good night.
We know what it's like to go to war, to sacrifice for what you believe is right. We know what it's like to be away from our family and to lose our friends. We know what it's like to bravely step forward. We see those who are redefining what it means to serve, what it means to be a patriot, and what it means to be a hero, to selflessly serve our communities, to step up to an unknown situation, and to save lives. From our nation's injured veterans to the faces of courage across America today, we see you. We support you. We salute you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.